Hello, my name is Mark Davis and I'm the Chief Executive at the Bridge Learning Campus. We're using this video clip in order to give you some idea of the changes that are going to happen from next September that will affect your child, whether it's a daughter, a son, whether it's at the primary school or the secondary school. The key thing that we're looking at is moving our thinking from having year groups whereby you go from in nursery school through to reception, year 1, year 2, right through to year 11. We're trying to say, is that the best way of organising a curriculum and a child's learning? Or is there another way in which you start to group up different ages of children? Which allows, for example, a year 6 bright and gifted and talented student to be challenged and work alongside maybe year 8 students. So what we've done is to sort of split our learning and our schooling right from our earliest years at age 3 right through to post 16 into 5 phases of education. Starting with phase 1, which is for our youngest students from 3 years to 6 years old. The key for our development here is to ensure that we provide a foundation for their communication and literacy skills. We all know within the campus that this is a very difficult area for us. Right through to year 11, and some of the students I'm mentoring at the moment alongside George Croxford, the secondary head teacher, we can see that English and literacy is the weakest of our areas, and students find those areas very difficult. And therefore, our work in that first phase is to try to overcome those difficulties, to try to get a love of words and of letters and of reading at those earliest years. The key also in phase 1 is to match the reception up to work alongside year 1, because sometimes that is a very difficult transition time and you go from one type of learning sharply to another in year 1, and what we want to do is overcome those difficulties that parents and students and children face at that transition stage. We then move into phase 2, and very simply in phase 2 we are going to develop the work that we're doing now very well with teachers and teacher assistants, but we're going to look at phase 2 in terms of 2 teams. The first team is going to be years 2 and years 3, and the second team is going to be years 4 and year 5. And actually there's not going to be a huge amount of change here, but the key change is that each of those groups will have a home-based teacher. But instead of changing your class teacher or home-based teacher every year, there will be a commitment for your home-based teacher to stay with your child for at least 2 years. Whereas in the past, our transition from primary to secondary starts at the end of year 6, what we're doing is actually saying, well, actually, it can start earlier than that. But the important thing that I would like you as parents to think about is this. It's not just a primary school and a secondary school. It is a campus in which we can offer lots of different opportunities. For example, year 6 students can utilise the specialist facilities that we've got in the secondary school, and likewise if you're in the secondary school there'll be some teaching in phase 3 in the primary accommodation. So if we think of the campus as a lot of accommodation rather than schools within it, then I think we're onto a winner. And we've got the opportunity, because of the campus, to develop this all-throughness. That's the whole point of why we're here. Otherwise we're just cohabiting in a similar location. So in phase 3, what we will have is the opportunity to level and assess children as they go through that phase. That means that we've got to commit to you that we know your child, your daughter or your son very well. We need to assess them so that they can progress at a rate that is challenging but also supportive for them. What we don't want to do is to give the message that we'll be testing all the time, because we won't. When I say a test assessment, what I really mean is that yes, we'll be providing those assessments to you as parents on a regular basis, probably 6 times a year, but more importantly the teachers will make ongoing assessments as they work through their lessons, and in so doing we will be able to know your child, your daughter or your son very well. Because if we're going to give them different levels, so for example, a talented year 6 mathematician, maybe with a year 8 mathematician in a teaching group. Now, if we're able to do that, what we need to do is promise to you that actually that assessment will be used to judge their progress. We all progress at different levels, and we want to see that progression for all students, even if some students progress more slowly and others go more quickly. So that sums up phase 3, and then we go into phase 4, which is in effect provides us with huge opportunities to give students more access to accreditation or external examination courses. Because our phase 3 incorporates year 9, 10 and 11, what it does is give our students the opportunity to do those examinations courses over 3 years rather than just 2. Now that is a huge bonus to us as a school and to you as parents, and obviously to your son or daughter, because it's freeing up lots of opportunities. We will be able to offer your son or your daughter a 1-year GCSE that they could do in year 9 and then gain and accredit that GCSE pass and then go on to further 1-year or 2-year GCSE courses. We can, if we want, or if the need is there, offer a 3-year programme of GCSEs for students who need 3 years. Likewise, we could have a 2-year GCSE in the same way as we do now, but on the back of that, introduce more vocational education or diplomas. To be honest, in phase 4, the opportunities that your child will have and we will be able to deliver are nearly endless, and will give us the opportunity to really maximise the potential that your son and your daughter has, so that they leave or go on to phase 5 into post-16 education with the very best of examinations that they can have. The biggest change in all of this is a change of attitude, really. I think as schools, both the primary and the secondary at the Bridge Learning Campus, we've made tremendous improvements over the recent years. This system that I've been trying to describe to you is about trying to ensure that actually all of our children can succeed, and all of our children have the opportunity for a successful and prosperous future. That's the whole point of what we're trying to do. And therefore, the opportunity to push them when they need pushing, to support them when they need supporting, that is at the heart of what we're trying to do here. If you have any questions, if you have any thoughts or worries or concerns that you want answered, please get in touch with us directly, by phone, by email, or just come in and visit.